Hello from Honeysuckle Farm. So today we have Ariella with us, and we're going to be discussing what it's like to be a child or a kid on a homestead. I hesitate to say kid because you do know what kid means?
No.
It's a baby goat.
Yeah.
And you're not a baby goat.
I know, because we can't say that on the homestead, really. You can't really say kid, because kid is a baby goat.
Yeah.
So maybe we should say a child on the homestead. Be very fancy.
Yes, yes. So we're going to be talking today about what it means to be a child on the homestead. What that means to her, how she feels about it, how she's grown, what she's been able to do on the homestead. I don't know if everybody knows this or not, but Ariella's homeschooled, and that's a big bonus, living on a homestead or a farm and being homeschooled, because you know, we are in charge of our own schedule, and as long as we finish what we need to finish in a day, we can go out and go on a nature walk every day if we wanted to, and we get to go out and play with all the animals and do all the fun things, right?
Right. Except for nowadays, because it's getting freezing, like freezing. It's only 32 out right now.
So Ariella's enjoying her Earl Grey. Or did you make a London Fog?
I don't have any cream, so I went with my old Earl Grey with a splash of milk, but it's still really good.
And she's in her Whispering Willow mug, Miss Jill.
And my Whispering
And her headband, and I have my earrings on. We're repping you.
We'll try and put that link down below.
Oh, we won't try.
We
know
will.
how to put a link.
Oh, we do? We do.
I learned how to put a link, so we will link you all back to Whispering Willow Farm for Jill, and you can buy mugs and these cute little headbands, and she has some jewelry on there and baskets and
pottery.
Super fun stuff. They make great Christmas gifts. Speaking of which, Chris and Ariella, if you're listening, I would love one of the tool belts for Christmas.
You think Ariella's listening? You think Ariella's on the screen right this minute? How can Ariella be
so what
here?
What else is important to you about living on a chick chain? I mean, not on a chick chain.
Living on a lap on the chick chain.
Living on a farmstead, homestead farm. How do you think your life is different than it was before?
So to me, living on the homestead is really cool because one of my favorite things to do is ride my bike up there and ride around and go see the horses and the chickens and just do that in the evenings. And also, I like doing that, but I also like the downward hill slant coming down from the pasture up there. Because you've seen it before. It's gone like a huge slant right down. So that's fun. And another thing I really like about living on a homestead and not living in a neighborhood or near the city is I can have chickens. Because I have, which I think are the best chickens on the world, Isa chickens.
Isa Brown.
Isa Brown. I couldn't remember the name. And I named my chickens Isa and Isa. I had a bunch, like 24, but then they unfortunately died because of the heat this summer. So
we started out with 25 chickens, but tell them about what program that's for.
That is for the 4-H chick chain in the Williamson County Fair. And tonight, actually...
Hold on. So you start out with 25 chickens.
Right.
You can choose whether you get a rooster with your chickens or not. We chose not to.
Right.
So we had 25 hens. Actually, They weren't hens. They were chicks when we got them.
Yeah,
and we raised them up, and we were so close, you guys, to the end of the chick chain. And we had, back in the summer when we had those super, super hot days, I mean, the heat index was getting up to like 110, 115. We had lost a couple of chickens in the beginning, the chicks, but that's not really unexpected. Sometimes you lose one or two in the first week, and so that was what happened the first week. But then during that heat spell that we had that was just really bad, she lost all but 2 of her chickens, and we felt so bad about that. But so she has 2 Isa Brown chickens, and she I had talked to the person in charge of the Williamson County 4-H chick chain program, and I said to him, you know, I don't even know if she can enter, because they take 5 chicks at the end of the chick chain and they go to the fair, and those chicks are judged on their appearance, their health, on whether they're laying eggs yet or not, and basically, and you are too. I mean, they're looking at how well you took care of your chicks. And so we had 2, and he said, sure, go ahead and bring them. He said, you'll just be responsible for whatever's left, because those chicks are then auctioned off, and that pays for the next kid's chick chain, or the next child's chick chain next year for their chicks. And so he said we would be responsible for whatever amount of money they didn't make. And Ariella's chicks were purchased by her mother so that she could have her chicks, because she loved those 2 chicks so much.
Right.
And so she got to keep her chicks, and we ended up not having to pay any money. Ariella won. You want to tell them what you won?
I won 2nd place, and Mama was preparing me that day because I only had 2. They might not be as healthy as the other chicks were because of the heat and what happened to the others, and all the others had gotten sick and died. But praise God, I got a 2nd place ribbon, and what Mama said was if they had been laying, it would have been 4th place.
Well, that wasn't me. That was the guy that judged them. He said
Oh.
that. When he announced you as 2nd place, he said she would have gotten a 1st place ribbon had they been laying. And her chicks literally her chickens started laying the next week.
And
So we were just off a little bit in timing.
those eggs, we got double yolks from these chickens before, which make
They lay nice eggs.
They're clean. I love clean eggs.
Isa Browns are a really good breed of chicken. They lay, I think it's 330 eggs a year.
Close.
I could be wrong,
It's
but
close
it's a
to-
lot. They lay brown eggs. They lay a lot of eggs a year, pretty consistently, and they have a very nice demeanor.
Right, until they're put in with another breed of chickens. If they're put in with another breed of chickens, I have noticed they lose their attached to their human, but they are still they're still attached. Like when I come in, they'll be right there. But there are a few other breeds of chickens in there, so their demeanors, they just don't want, Mama said they just don't want the other chickens to know I like them, because they don't want them to not like them because they like a human. And then,
so you won 2nd place.
right, and continuing on that story, tonight, I got invited to a Chick Chain Awards event tonight. Banquet.
A banquet.
Right, and we keep making jokes about them having chickens and a bunch of chickens down the table, so they literally have a chick chain. Yeah, you get it.
Is that a dad joke?
Yep, that was Daddy. And so I thought that was really funny, because I'm like, hey, that makes sense. And then I said, but what if the chicken was wrapped a chain? Would it still be a chick chain? And the Mama said, that's probably really uncomfortable for the chicken. We got one other difference between the subdivision and the farm is...
Or the city.
Or the city. It's quiet. Shh, do you hear that? Exactly. It's quiet. Other than the fire and the freeze fire.
And the dog snoring at our feet. The dogs are all sleeping. When you turn the fireplace on, the dogs all just kind of crash out on the floor and go to sleep.
Hamilton, my baby, is curled up in like a cat ball. He's all in a ball. This morning he came in and licked my face. That is one thing about also living in a subdivision. Sometimes they don't allow you to have 3 dogs.
I don't think they stop you from having dogs.
I mean, in the city,
Not normally. That's not normally a stipulation. They don't let you have farm animals, and sometimes they don't let you grow. Sometimes there are rules about what you can grow and what you can't grow, but...
So, that's weird that they don't let you sometimes grow food.
Well, I mean, sometimes there are just rules about what you can and cannot do on the property. It depends on how strict your homeowners association is, or your condo, apartment, rental lease, however that works.
Which is why we're glad we live on a homestead.
We have certain freedoms that not everybody has, don't we?
Yes, to have a like 6 foot larger than a 6 foot garden.
Yeah, our garden's way bigger than 6 feet.
Like maybe 12 feet?
It was 4,000 square feet.
4,000. Okay, you can't have a 4,000 square feet garden.
Some people live in such a small area that might be the size of their yard.
4,000 square feet?
Maybe. Some people live on a 1/4 acre. Some people live on a 1/2 acre. People live in different areas.
Right.
I'm sorry, I keep yawning.
She's tired. Anyway.
I'm not. I think I'm not just, maybe I need to breathe deeper. I'm not breathing deep enough. Deep breaths. In with the good and out with the bad.
Set it out with stuff.
So what's your favorite thing about living on a homestead or being homeschooled on a homestead?
Being homeschooled on a homestead is fun because, you know, it don't have to always do your school inside. You know, if I knew how to climb that cedar tree right out the yard, I could climb up there with my math book and I could do my math. Who knows what? Like that's the thing about being on a homestead. I make pot holders with this loom I have in here, and I don't have to do that inside. I could go sit on the porch if it was warm enough.
Do you remember that we took the blanket down to the garden over the summer and you would sit on the blanket and do things while I was in the garden?
Like when she was in the garden, I would do my school sometimes out there. Sometimes I'd do my school in here and then I'd go out and I'd sit and listen to Audible. One time I brought popcorn out to the garden and sat there and read. I don't even remember what I was reading back then, but I was reading.
Anything she can get her hands on, people.
Okay, anything I can get my hands on. Such as Harry Potter, such as Billy Mayfield, etc., etc., etc. Right now, the thing I'm tending to get my hands on most of the time is Harry Potter. I just finished it yesterday night, and I started it again yesterday night. One thing that is different is you can't have chickens in a subdivision. You can't have ponies in and you can't have ponies in a subdivision. So I had a pony named Anastasia. Then we only had one then. So she was living at somebody else's farm. And then when we moved here, I was super excited because Anastasia got to come and live here again. And I've had her since I was like 2. And unless someone
2.5, but yeah.
2.5. And she, for some reason, doesn't trust anybody else to halter her up or to love her or to put her head to head horse talk. That's how people actually sometimes let horses read your thoughts. That's how I picture it. You're putting your head to the horse's head, and that actually builds trust with them. Whether it's a horse or a pony or a miniature horse, you do that with the horse, that actually builds trust. I read that in a horse book. And so I love doing that with Anastasia, but Anastasia only comes up to me. And Lincoln's a little different. Lincoln is a miniature horse, and he's like this big. Like when I'm standing up, he's like that big. Maybe a little shorter. He's like...
So go back to how is your life different versus living in a subdivision versus living here?
Living in a subdivision, you can ride a bike without falling. And hills are more fun in the farm to ride bikes or to sled or to walk even.
Do you work hard living on a homestead or a farm?
A lot harder than sweeping the floor in a house or something. In a subdivision
What do you
house.
have to do here on the farm, the homestead?
Feed the horses and the chickens and
Gather eggs.
Gather eggs for my chickens. I used to go down in the summer when all the zinnias were like thriving. I would go down and pick zinnias, and that was fun. But they all
What about
died.
when we planted the garden? Did you work hard then?
Yes, that was really fun planting the garden because we planted these beans, and the beans, when we went down there, we showed you the beans. They were really tall, which was really cool because to think you planted that small seed in the ground and then it just grows and grows and grows. That was really exciting. And then I planted my own raised bed. It was like a 5x4 size, like
I think it was 4x4 or 5x5. It's square, so yeah.
yeah. And I had basil, 3 chocolate peppers, and 2 tomato plants. Sadly, both tomato plants just shriveled up like in the heat and died.
Yeah, it was
So,
a really weird summer and fall. We went straight from 100-degree days to
40-degree
really
days.
cold days, and now it's really cold outside. We're having a cold snap, and
The garden's dead.
the garden is dead. The
dead.
garden's been dead.
Right. But everything is dead for plant-wise. Except Mama's broccoli, which is doing really well. Have you checked on that recently?
It is. It's doing very well. I discovered I was growing broccoli at the wrong time of year.
Oh, but it still worked.
No, this broccoli is doing great because I'm growing. I guess it grows better during the fall. It's a brassica, and so brassicas tend to grow better in the fall.
Right. And brassicas are some of the really good things like broccoli and cabbage and spinach.
I don't think spinach is a brassica. Cauliflower is a brassica.
Ooh, she makes the best mashed cauliflower. It is really good. It looks like mashed potatoes, but it is really good. Could you make that for Thanksgiving?
Speaking of Thanksgiving, we had a loss on the homestead. So we had some turkeys that we had out, the turkeys that we had out with our chickens. You guys have seen them. We think it was a coyote pushed over the fence that they were in and got all the turkeys but one. Chris found one the next day that had a bite, but it was still alive, and so he put it back in there, but it died the next day. So our Thanksgiving turkey was eaten by coyotes.
Evidently,
Chris has been hunting them.
Evidently, in their defense, they probably just wanted something for Thanksgiving.
I don't think they know what Thanksgiving is. So that's the first time something like that's ever happened here. We haven't really had any predation issues at all. And so what we did was we moved Sasha, one of our Great Pyrenees, out here to the chicken coop. And they didn't get any of the chickens. They only got the turkeys.
Thank God.
It looks like the turkeys fought them pretty hard. I hate that though. We had some really nice turkeys. And they even got Minnie Pearl. That was sad. So we had to go and buy a turkey. Yeah. But at least we were able to buy a turkey. I mean, that's a blessing. We had the money to buy a turkey. We had the money. I actually bought more than one turkey to put them away. So we had the money to buy a turkey. The store had turkeys. So those are all blessings.
We, at the store we went to, there was a deal if you used the store card there, and it was 60 cents for a turkey. So we ended up getting, let's see, like, I don't know how many turkeys.
I bought 3.
3 turkeys, and then my grandmother bought one. So we each had, she has 1, we have 3. So altogether we have 4 turkeys. And then I'm gonna, on the note of Thanksgiving, thank you Farmhouse on Moon. I'm gonna make cranberry orange sauce. And it's not like whole orange, it's orange zest. So it just is add to that little like ping
A little bit of flavor.
to the cranberry sauce. Because cranberry sauce is good, but it doesn't have a lot of flavor other than cranberry.
Oh, well, yeah, but cranberry is a strong flavor.
Right, is that why you don't like cranberry sauce?
It's not that I don't like it.
It's not your
I
favorite
think
condiment.
I wasn't raised with it, so it's not one of my favorite things. No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cranberry sauce is one of my favorite turkey condiments.
Yeah. I think everybody else likes it except me. Living on a homestead versus living in the city or a subdivision or close to other people. You guys tell us what you think.
In the comments below, would you rather live in a subdivision or a city or, in a louder place? Or would you rather live in the country where you can't really see your neighbors and
It's quiet.
You can look around and all you see is trees. You can look out on your back porch and see a Gatlinburg view. So, what do you think?
All right, that's a wrap.
Keep growing, and don't forget to like and subscribe and click that bell button wherever it is.
It's down there.
Wherever it is.
Down there.
Wherever it is.
And we will link Whispering Willow's farm.
And please go over and like and subscribe to their channel. Bye. Keep growing.
Keep growing, you guys.